What is Dollar Gujarati?
How do Gujaratis do business?
What kind of businesses can you do in America?
How can you grow your business?
How do you get your first customer?
How can you raise funding?
When should you be frugal?
Can you start a business as an immigrant?
Why is sales important?
Where are all the investors?
Which is the correct model for your startup?
Find these answers and more in Season 2 of Dollar Gujarati.
Season 1 was all about the stories of successful Gujarati entrepreneurs in America. Season 2 is about getting actionable tips from young Gujarati startup founders. Every week, we dive deep into solving one business challenge in a TED Talk style. Let's dive into today's episode.
So, hi Vikram, welcome to Dollar Gujarati. Vikram is the co-founder of DocVita, which is a Y Combinator startup based out of India. So, what are you going to teach us today, Vikram?
Hi guys, I'm Vikram. I'm co-founder of DocVita, and DocVita is a platform where we connect patients with a doctor. We are basically matchmakers in the space, right? So I have three topics for you today, which I would like to speak about. First one is, like, we have been asked this a lot because we were based out of Indore, tier 2 city in India. And from there we got into YC. So people have asked us many point of time that, how did you get into YC? You're not based out of Bangalore or Hyderabad or Delhi or Bombay, right? Any major cities. So how did you guys do that? So that is one topic which I'm going to speak. The second one which I would like to speak about is something related to the company incorporation. So we'll jump right into that later on. So for the first topic, yes, when we got into YC, we had one hospital as our client, and DocVita was entirely different business that point of time. We were a voice assistant for doctors when we applied into YC. So that point of time, we had one hospital and 20 odd doctors in the pipeline, which were waiting for the product to roll out, right? So healthcare is relatively, if you guys understand, then it's a relatively slow moving market. Like before COVID, it was a slow moving market. Currently, it's like really fast moving. But so at that point of time, YC was looking into startups where, people are really majorly focused on their customers. So at that point of time, our customers were doctors. So our major primary focus was to build something which they really need in their day-to-day life, and to save time, and on top of that, like, give something back to them, because medical industry is not really technology savvy when it comes to the software part, right? They use a lot of technologies in the hardware sector, a lot of hardware devices, X-ray machines, and other things are there, but operationally they were not doing really great. So that point of time, we thought that, let's introduce a voice assistant, and we applied to YC with that. YC in the interview process, they've grilled us a lot, and surprisingly to us also, that they didn't care where we came from. They only cared about, like, that we majorly focused on our customers and how we did it. So that point of time, two YC partners were there in our interviews, and they really asked us one thing, like, how did you guys end up building something like this, right? So our major focus was that, me and my co-founder is Anmol. So we both are grads of IIT Indore, and that point of time, after being an engineer, right, like, we had a little idea about medical industry as such. So we had to spend a lot of time understanding the market, how it works, how things goes, how a doctor sees the patient, what is the psychology of a doctor. So it took us a lot of time. But what we did was, we used to go to doctor's chamber every day. At least one of us will go there and sit in the chamber, observe a lot of things, daily learnings. We used to, in the evening, we used to have a, stand-up kind of thing, where we churn out all the details of today's learning, and then try to implement them, those learnings into the product in a week's time, and then deliver that feature like in a week's cycle, right? So that iterations really helped us a lot. And so far in Indore, being in Indore, it was an advantage for us, because doctors relatively had a lot of time. They didn't have a lot of patients. They had time for us. So they taught us a lot. So it was like a boon in disguise for us. Yeah, go ahead.
So the understanding is that Y Combinator really doesn't care about what your credentials are, but how much effort and thought you have put into really understanding your customers' problems. Is that correct?
Yes, in a nutshell, that is absolutely true, because the better you understand your customers, the better you are equipped to solve that problem for them.
Awesome.
So like I think that is the case. So I think that is useful for a lot of people. And
Oh
because
yeah.
previously, yeah, previously we have failed twice, by the way, before applying to YC, and we had learned it the hard way. We didn't know that, if you do this, will you get into YC? But it was the other way around for us.
Oh, yeah, I had a
So,
question. Like, what did you change that helped you get into YC? Like, you learned, like, you failed a couple of times, and then you changed few things that help you get into YC. What is that?
yes. Okay, cool. So I have to set a little context here, because previously when we started, we used to sell, preventive plans to patients, specifically diabetes patients. So what we were trying to do is we were encouraging diabetes patients to take like minor change in lifestyle and their day-to-day diet to make sure that they go into like a little controlled manner, so that their doses can be reduced, or they can be like brought back to normal, so they don't have to take medicines, but they can manage it with exercise and diet control, right? So that's what the initial plan was. But that point of time, what again, like we spoke to couple of patients, couple of doctors, and we started building the product, right? So that point of time, our major mistake was we were 4 engineers sitting in a closed room, and we had no idea how the market works. We did couple of interviews, but those interviews are not enough to get a conclusive result, right? Because customer interviews are something that you learn the hard way, because people don't tell you the truth on the face. You have to like ask proper question to get the proper answer for that. So that is really something that we had learned over the 1.5 years time, where we venture into diabetes field and something similar in the dental field as well. So that's how we arrived that this is not the right way to go about it. That's when we stopped. And similar way, we are following the paths where doctors, like we are observing doctors problem every day, right? So that then we started the experimenting with the voice assistant, and that's how we got into voice.
Are you still doing that with customers, like going out, you have someone seeing how they're using your product, getting feedback, and then again improving that, or you all are at just a development stage now, not taking?
Okay, cool. So good question actually. So currently we still do that every single time in every single release. So we don't take anything for granted at all. Like it is entirely data driven company per se, you can say, right? So for now, like last release we did for our voice assistant was in March, like before COVID. And before COVID, if you see that, one of our people would go to, like all of my developers have been on the field. They always go to hospitals, they see the product in action, whatever they have built, they speak to their nurses, they speak to the doctors who are using it, then get the feedback, and then they build it again. Like none of my developers are like, fortunately in my team, are like sitting around and they just want the office work. Everyone has their hands on the ground. So
Yeah.
any questions, guys?
Yeah, I think more than questions, like this is it, like the plan of action is very clear for anybody who wants to do a startup from anywhere in India or anywhere in the world. I think it's not about having credentials. It's about actually going and speaking to your customers and uh, continuing to do that. Like even after you've been funded by Y Combinator now, right? Like you all are a bigger company, and you all are still doing that with every iteration. And
Yes.
what another big learning is that the people who are building the product, in your case the developers, they are
Yeah.
also directly in contact with the customers and how the
Yes.
customers are using the product. So
Yeah.
that kind of there's no gap between what is in the developer's mind versus what is actually working in the market.
Correct. Exactly.
So Vikram,
Yeah.
you're a company that started in India,
Mhm.
and your market is also in India, but
Yeah.
you raised funding from Y Combinator, which is based in the US,
Yeah.
and your company is also registered now in the US as a Delaware Corp.
Delaware
So
C.
Delaware C Corp. So why did you go that way? And does everybody like is there a benefit for some company in India to do that, even if they are not part of Y Combinator?
Mhm. Okay, so there are two aspects to it. Like for us, it was really simple because our investors wanted that. It was easy route for them to invest in the company, and we didn't have any like legal trouble in that case. So we shifted our HQ to US. So that's a very simple answer. For a lot of companies who has raised funding in India and then they are raising funding from US, so there are like different dynamics to it. And for it is very, what do you say, case specific thing, so you can't arrive at a very conclusive answer. But yes, for like it was easy for us to raise funding in the US, because once you have the US company, it's really easy for US investors to put money in the company, right? So that was our experience so far. I'm not sure though how the market goes, but I'm pretty sure there are also a lot of other companies out there in Bangalore. I have met few who are not part of YC, but still they have their own company established in the US. So I don't think that's specific to YC at all.
Okay, so the biggest benefit is that it's just easier for American investors to invest in you if you're incorporated in the US.
I think so. I'm still not sure though, because US investors, of course, they have a, what do you say? They have to be, there are a couple of different kind of investors there as well. You have to be, one is accredited investors, and other non-accredited investors are also there. So cap table works in a very different way for every other company. So it is still again a very case specific, whether that is helpful or not. It really depends what kind of investors they already have on board. And apart from that, one more question which you asked me was around the challenge we faced in our journey, right?
Yeah.
And how we try to solve it step by step. So partly I have already answered the question. So I have laid out a map for you that how you build a really good product, and what people want really in healthcare space. It was really difficult for us to craft exact user experience that doctors want, right? Because your users will not have exact clarity in their head what they want. If you ask them that in our case, I'll give you an example. Okay, when I went to a doctor and asked him, how do you write a prescription right now? So he told us that this is my pad, I just scrub it in 30-40 seconds and I just give it to my patient, right? And that's how it is working, and it has been working in past couple of decades, I guess. So yeah, then what we gave him the demo was sir, would you like to just speak your prescription, and it will come out the printout automatically, right? So his first question was why don't you make a pencil and directly I'll write and then digitize. There are a lot of products like that as well in the market, and they are doing phenomenally well. And it's not we have a different approach towards that. They had a different approach towards that. So in our approach, what we really incorporated was the multilingual prescriptions as well, right? So doctor could speak a prescription and the prescription will come. That is just one part. After that, because we were in tier 2 city, right? So everyone wants to read in Hindi. They don't understand English all the time, right? So what we did was, and we also had a couple of customers for Ahmedabad as well. So we had to do it in Gujarati as well, right? So for that, we incorporated two languages. So all doctor has to do speak in English, but he could print his prescription in Hindi and Gujarati as well. And that was a really amazing experience for the patients. So doctors were really happy. Yeah, my customers are happy. That's why he is happy, and that's why I'm happy because my customer is here. So it was a chain reaction kind of thing, but yeah, everyone loved that. So
you would not have known unless you would never have figured this out unless you actually had a working prototype which the doctors were using.
Yes, correct. So exactly. So we didn't arrive at the voice assistant on the first go. We already had our scheduling software on the field which doctors were using. So that's when we observed that now we can jump into the prescription part, but how to go about it. Writing prescription is not the way we would like to go about things. So that's when we say that it started as an experiment in the company. Two interns started this voice assistant project in their summer internship from my college, and then we took it up. It's flying like crazy.
Great. So one thing that you touched upon was there has been some sort of practice for decades, right? The doctors have been writing it on the pad. How did you change the behavior of the doctor, right? How did you convince them? It is so difficult to train certain people, when there is a new technology that is entering their field. Yeah. So what was your experience with it?
Okay, yes, cool. So if you understand the Indian market, right, for the clinics and hospitals, primary users will be doctor, and more than doctor, his staff. Because every big doctor will have staff of 10 people, If you make something for doctor, he is not going to use it, because you will have to make sure that, your first touch point is reception, any clinic's reception. If you can make sure that, that part is working, then you can make sure that, now the next step can be implemented. It's a gradual process. So how we approached it was like, we first went to a doctor's chamber. Of course, yes, he said we would like to do something like this, and then we started with we implemented the change management thing from the reception itself. So we gave a mobile app to their what do you say, like their I'm forgetting, but their staff members over there, right? Nurses or compounders. But what they started was, they were registering patients by writing like small details: what's your name, what's your gender, where you come from, and like this is the fees, and etc etc, right? So we gave them a mobile app. All they had to do is speak, okay, cool, Vikram Patel, male, 25 years old, his weight is 75, his height is this much, and everything will be noted down, right? So their time of usage reduced drastically, and it was a gimmick for them. They were really happy, because like there was nothing like it for them, right? So starting from the registration process, we started giving good experience to them, and that's how we managed to get into the doctor's chamber as well and implemented that.
Great. And did it like fail a lot of times? Like they would try to say Vikram Patel and it would register something else. Then you have to convince it is still, yeah.
Absolutely, dude. So very right question, dude. Like initially, our accuracy was not that great. Of course, yes, because like the product is very nascent, right? So that point of time, we had to do like a lot of iterations with them. But the point was that all the staff members were like, because we were all going in the field, right? They were like friends to us. Like wherever we have implemented for initially 5-10 dog clinics, right? So they're still like really close with us. Whenever we can like visit them, they're like, hi, hello, sir, what happens? Like we can also go for chai, maybe, I don't know. So like it's really friendly, right? So relationship is really important when it comes to like implementation. Otherwise, we wouldn't have cracked that if not for the relationships we have built so far.
Yeah, so yeah, thanks Vikram. This was really educational, and I guess in a way gave a guideline to a lot of people who are starting companies in India.
I hope. Let's see.
Yeah, of course. And thank you for coming on Dollar Gujarati and being a Dollar Gujarati.
Yes, absolutely. I have loved the energy of the team, guys.